Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on Supergirl Season 5, and this will be my review and breakdown for Supergirl Season 5, Episode 19, otherwise titled Immortal Combat. Now, Supergirl is actually the only show that was able to film most of their original finale. They were like 95% done or something. So this is why this episode felt like a proper finale. And so they basically combined episode 19 and 20 together to fill in those unfinished parts that were left for episode 20. And it did fit really, really well. And is why this was probably the best finale out of all the Arrowverse shows, as it is the only show that is pretty much complete other than Legends of Tomorrow, but that still has a lot for it to be wrapped up. Anyways, before I do the review and breakdown, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you're aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. And spoiler alert, obviously, if you haven't caught up with Supergirl this season or haven't watched the episode, you have been warned before I head to spoilers, as I will be talking about the entire episode and obviously breaking it down. But yeah, this episode kicks off with Lex having a sneak peek of the Leviathan ship, and Lex does also get into like some severe pain, and this is obviously due to the Leviathan shield, just in case some trespassers were to come. But Gemma does give Lex this like red pin which helps him breathe and live in the shield of the Leviathan ship. And we had the Leviathan members use their rings, in which they face it on the kryptonite and they absorb its power, and that is obviously so they can kill Supergirl. And one sick shot that was that, you know, while all this like kryptonite and everything was glowing, Lex's face, where he was just smiling, and like all that like, you know, green light was going on Lex. It was just like, you know, so good, because like, you know, he's obsessed with killing these Kryptonians, and like him like staring at kryptonite, it was just really good. Now, we then had this scene in which Team Supergirl are planning a way to defeat Leviathan, and they have the help of Lena this time, and they're thinking of baiting Leviathan by using the Martians to shapeshift into Kara. And so the real Kara can head to Luthor Corp, so Lena could make that, you know, that kryptonite-proof suit. Now, Kara can't use her powers, obviously, otherwise Leviathan will be able to sense her easily, which is why they need to use this bait to get Kara to Luthor Corp quickly as possible. But we then have Alex reveal her new vigilante suit, in which I have mixed feelings about. This overall like suit looks pretty good, but the face part is terrible. I would have preferred like if she had like a mask on or something, so like instead of that blue makeup, because that blue makeup is ridiculous. So if she had like a mask or something, it would be really cool. But yeah, other than like the face part, the overall suit looks pretty dope. But then they go on to executing the plan, in which they do the bait. So John and McCann are disguised as Kara, and they use Leviathan as bait, so you know they could get Kara to Luthor Corp, as I said. But then while doing that, they lure Ramakan in and they think that Ramakan's the only member. But while they like, you know, shapeshift into the normal forms, they notice that there are more than just one Leviathan member. So there are two more that come in, and Team Supergirl is now in serious trouble. And I just find it really random that they just introduced those two other members, but I didn't mind it because it was really, really cool. But we find out that Gemma is she says that she is Leviathan, which leads you to believe that she is the leader. But then she does say that she works for like someone higher. So I am interested to see if like that person who's in like that higher rank is like the main villain, and like he's the leader of Leviathan. So I am interested to see if we will explore that next season. But yeah, we have the fight scenes between the team and Leviathan members until Kara can make it to Luthor Corp. But John does get seriously injured due to that random Leviathan member ending up, you know, coming there out of nowhere and attacking. Now, we then had this talk argument between Kara and Lena, where Lena talks about their, you know, memories but Kara then ignores Lena, and then Lena's like, Kara, come on, I said sorry and stuff. And these two have a massive argument due to Kara just doing one mistake, but Lena then returns the favor by just throwing in multiple stuff until Kara is ripped apart, and she feels that same pain that Kara inflicted on Lena once. Now, yeah, we had that argument. Now, we then also had Brainy planning on sacrificing himself in order to defeat Leviathan. So he plans on getting into the Leviathan ship and, absorbing their, not absorbing their power, but getting through the defense shield and, using that immortality tube to suck in all the Leviathan members and save the day. But he knows that he will die. Now, Nia could actually sense this, but she just full on ignores it, which was irritating. But we then had Kara and Lena saving William from the hands of Eve Tessmacher, in which Eve Tessmacher she told William about what happened with her and Lex. So Eve shoots William, but Kara does save William as she uses her heat vision to stop the bleeding from happening and the bullet wound from obviously hurting him as well. But then the Leviathan members arrive, as they can obviously sense Kara when she uses her powers. So Kara has to avoid them for a while, and then she is badly affected with the kryptonite, but then that is no issue as the kryptonite proof suit has arrived and is attached on Kara. So Megan, Nia and Kara attempt to face off Leviathan. We then have Lex trying to use the obsidian platinum to kill as much as the population as possible, and that was essentially the plan of Leviathan as well. So they have the same ambition as Lex, so they're advertising in order to get as many people as possible from using those lenses. And we then have Brainy entering the Leviathan ship, in which he has 10 minutes to do everything before he dies due to the shields. So that was a very intense scene as well. But then Kara talks to Eve, and she tries to find out what Lex is planning. And Eve mentions that she can't say anything due to her mother being held captive. So Kara promises that she'll get Eve's mother into safety, and she should do what's right. And she finds out that she will have to use obsidian platinum to save the people, because Lex is planning on using obsidian once it reaches 4 billion people, I think it was, and then they try to kill everyone over there. But Lex and Gemma notice that Kara has entered the VR to talk people out of using the VR lenses. So Gemma then awakens Andrea, and she becomes a Krata again, and she's given kryptonite to obviously kill Supergirl. So we have these intense scenes with Lena noticing Andrea is trying to kill Kara, so she's trying to talk her out of killing. We also have John, Alex, Mekan and Nia facing off Leviathan, and they're getting wrecked and are about to die due to how powerful Leviathan are. And we have Brainy trying to stop Leviathan by using that immortality tube and sucking them in, which was the most intense scene out of all, because I didn't want Brainy to die. And a very powerful scene where Kara persuades the people from ending their simulation, which was a very good scene as well, which eventually leads to all the users being inspired by her speech, and they end simulation. We then have Lena talking Andrea out of killing Supergirl, and it was great as well. Now, Team Supergirl is about to die by Ramakan, but Brainy is successful in his job, and he sucks the Leviathan members into that immortality tube, but obviously is about to die. And Nia does in fact notice that Brainy actually saved all of them, but he's about to die. So Nia is trying to head to where the Leviathan headquarters are, or the Leviathan ship, so she can help Brainy. But as the mastermind that Lex is, Lex has actually calculated that Brainy would attempt to save his friends, which was a great scene, where then Lex takes that jar and heads out to the Leviathan ship, leaving Brainy to die. And we then have Lex giving that tube to his mother. So there is a cliffhanger in which we don't know whether Brainiac dies or survives. And there's also a cliffhanger in which we don't know what's gonna happen between Lex and what him and his mother are planning. But then we have this very interesting scene where Gemma goes all robot, which is her real form, by the way, and like she starts like electrocuting and stuff, which is interesting. But I am very interested to find out like what's happening with her. But yeah, I really love this episode, and by the things they left off, I'm very interested to find out what's happening. But I really hope that they don't put Lex to waste, because he is by far the best character on this show and is easily the MVP whenever he appears. And not in this case, however, Kara was really, really good in this episode, but I'm really excited to find out what happens with Lex. Now, in terms of the Lex ending, I think that he's going to use the immortality tube and try and make himself immortal so that he becomes even more powerful than he already is, which would be amazing, because I just love Lex in Supergirl. John Cryer is just amazing, so I would obviously love him to stay a lot more. So he'll probably use that immortality tube so he could become immortal and even more powerful, and use that for his villainous plans. But then the ending, Eve encounters her mother as Kara saves her, and Kara and Lena are now friends again, and they're planning on stopping Lex. So after this, we don't have Supergirl in a very, very long time due to Melissa's pregnancy. Most of the Arrowverse shows will air in January 2021 if this pandemic is like all cured by then. But whereas Supergirl, that would be like after that mid-season, so somewhere around like March or April, we will be getting Supergirl and these things where they will reveal like what's gonna happen with like Brainy and stuff, which I am really excited about, because they did leave things in like a very good cliffhanger where there are like multiple cliffhangers. But overall, I really enjoyed this episode. It was just really, really good, and I will give it a 9 out of 10, with this easily being the best Arrowverse finale this year. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.